Welcome back to the channel. In today's review, I'm standing next to the 2025 Kia K4 GT line Turbo. This has a turbocharged engine underneath the hood. This also offers new technology. So basically, overall, this is a all-new vehicle for 2025. It is replacing the Forte name here in America, and it slots beneath the Kia K5, which is its bigger sibling, which that is a mid-size sedan. Starting price here for the K4 GT line Turbo is at $28,090 with all the bells and whistles. This one stickers for $31,915. Special thanks to Dade Kia of Miami for giving me time with the Kia K4 GT line Turbo. If you guys are on the market for a Kia, be sure to check out Dade Kia and ask for Tony or Adam, and they will get you into your next vehicle. Let's take a look at this all new generation of Kia K4. This replaces the Forte, and like I mentioned, this slots beneath the K5, which is this bigger sibling. My apologies for the dusty and dirty car. As you guys can see, this black color is nice when it's all cleaned up. As you guys can see here, this also has standard full LED lights on all models of the K4. This is LED turn signal, LED daytime running light. Since this is the top GT line Turbo, it does have these individual pod LED lights there. There's front parking sensors. There's this chrome light trim here in the front splitter here. And as you guys can see, there's this nice tiger nose grille, which is very slim, but it does feed the actual engine that air that it needs. This is a front-facing camera. There's a Kia logo there, and down is going to be more silver painted trim with the driver's assistance system being at the lower part of the front lip splitter. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Kia K4. Now, looking at the side profile, this has a 107.1-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 184.5. As you guys can see, it does fit in the same portion as the compact sedans in the segment, which are the Honda Civic and the Toyota Corolla, which is its main rivals here. But when I look at these multi-spoke gloss black wheels, these are a 235/50 tire. They're wrapped in this 18-inch rim design. I actually like the gloss black finish with the multi-spoke here. Looks really nice. There's more of that silver or aluminum like trim here on the side. Mirror cap here, that's this LED turn signal. And this also has a large moonroof / panoramic style there. Some other competitors don't even offer that size of moonroof. As you guys can see, there's no actual door handle here. The door handle is integrated here, so it does give it like that Prius-like design, which I think Kia did a really good job of hiding the actual rear door handles here. Now, looking at the rear of the vehicle, this has an LED finish to the actual tail lights, which is a turn signal, reverse light, and brake light. There's your parking sensors. There's a GT line badge, the Kia logo. That's a backup camera there. And down here, it's going to be the reverse light. There's no visible exhaust trim. I'm surprised Kia didn't add a single or dual outlet exhaust here to show that this is the actual GT line, but it's very bland back here since the exhaust is not, being shown, but it's actually tucked underneath the actual rear bumper. Now, to get into the cargo, press this button here. As you guys can see, it does reveal 14.2 cubic feet of space, so plenty of space if you guys are looking to put items back here underneath here. Kia does give you a spare tire instead of a fix-a-flat kit, and you can also fold the seats down in a 60/40 manner via these tabs here. And one thing I do like about this actual design here, as you guys can see how it's at a sharp angle there, but it's really nice how Kia actually put that together with the actual design philosophy there. But let's hop into the interior of the Kia K4. Sitting in the interior of the Kia K4, it is complemented by this beautiful red interior with the black leather. It says GT line in the actual seats here. But let's start off here with the door panel materials here. Nice material there. 2-person memory seats. There's 3-level heated and cooled seat with this aluminum-like finish to the door handles. There's your mirror controls. Your window controls are here. It's going to be nicely padded. That red is continued on to the actual door panel there. This also has the Harman Kardon sound system. There's your illumination switch here. Electronic parking brake. Your traction control, and this is a manual tilt and telescoping wheel. It does offer a good amount of range and adjustability. But shutting the door here and starting up the K4, the push button start is down here, just like the Nissan Sentra, which is not a bad place to put the actual start stop button. You're greeted by these 2 massive 12.3-inch displays here, which is really nice. You can also customize the driver display here by pressing this button here. It shows you your trip, your route, information there, and if I signal left or right, it does show me what's in my actual blind spot, which is really nice technology. So Kia has sweated the details and added a lot of stuff. This also has their driver's assistance tech with their traffic jam assist. There's a scroll wheel here. You guys can show different stuff, mess with the volume and so forth. Over here is for your presets for the actual screen. You can adjust the volume if you would like. You can also favorite different things. This also has paddle shifters here for the 8-speed automatic transmission. Nice switch gear in this vehicle. The leather from the door panels continued onto the actual dashboard here. Nice clean design here, and you can also mess with the climate control in this separate screen here instead of touching the physical buttons. But I like that Kia does give you physical buttons instead of throwing everything in the actual screen here. The screen here is very snappy, supportive here. I like it. It's over-the-air updates, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. My iPhone 16 Pro Max is here in the actual wireless phone charger. There's additional storage here, 2 USB ports. There's a 12-volt here. You can press to open the door there. And putting the vehicle into reverse, this is a traditional shifter. There's a top-down 360 view. Some other competitors don't even offer a top-down 360 view, let alone a perimeter scan around the vehicle. As you guys can see, it does show a nice graphic of the K4 here. You can get down into neutral, into drive. There's a manual mode here in the transmission. You can use the paddle shifters if you would like, or you can use the actual shifter. Putting it back into park, nice leather here, nice stitching. There's your parking sensors, your button to access the camera, auto hold, and like I mentioned, the push button start is going to be here. There's your air vents here. Nice materials on the actual dash there. I actually like that. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer a large storage in there. And this is the current key fob. Just like a detonator style key, there's a lock, unlock, trunk release, a panic button, and remote start. And plus this here, it does have the pop-out cup holder, just like on this bigger sibling, the Kia Telluride. These seats are very supportive. Like I mentioned, the 3-level heated and cooled seats. Above me, there's this moon roof here. Some other competitors don't even give you a large glass like this. You can also open it, you can tilt it, and it opens at a pretty good angle. Actually goes way over and kind of into the back seat a little bit. You can also close it back. This is a woven like material here for the headliner. Open this up, it does reveal a good amount of storage in there. The red is continued over here, but overall the interior of the K4 does not disappoint, just like the exterior styling. You guys can see this car from a mile away. You can tell that it's an actual K4. Let's get into the back seat of the K4 here. Kia puts the door handle in the actual pillar here instead of putting it on the actual sheet metal there. But getting back here, that red is continued into the actual back seat. Some other competitors will skip out on doing that, but the materials are carried over from the front with this aluminum-like finish to the door handle. The switchgear feels really nice. There's some storage down here in the actual door pocket, nicely padded. That red, once again, is continued back here. But getting back here onto the back seat and shutting the door here, Kia says this has 38 inches of rear legroom space. I think the Honda Civic has the most legroom space in the actual segment. And there's actually rear air vents. Some competitors don't even give you rear air vents, and I think that's a must in most cars nowadays. There's 2 Type-C ports, a good amount of storage here to put your phone. There's this hump here. It's not large, but you can fit 3 people across. And above me, there is that large panoramic style roof. And it's gonna be full LED lights throughout this interior. Pull this armrest down here. It's going to be 2 cup holders. It's going to be nicely padded here. And once again, you can't fit 3 people across. But overall, the back seat of the K4 doesn't feel like a penalty box. And I like that Kia does give you more additional legroom compared to the Kia Forte, which kind of felt like a penalty box. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the K4 GT Line Turbo. This is the company's 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with gasoline direct injection. Makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Kia has dropped the dual clutch and replaced it with an 8-speed automatic transmission. As this vehicle sits here, all K4s come with front-wheel drive. This weighs in at 3,200 pounds. Fuel economy is rated at 26 in the city, 36 on the highway, and 29 combined. So I'm back behind the wheel of the K4. It's been about 4 months since I've driven the K4, but that was the non-GT model. It had that lethargic 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. As you guys can see, I'm here with a special guest. Introduce myself. My bad. Introduce yourself. My bad.
The name is The Lugs Vlog. Everybody know me. Call me Steve, but on social media it's The Lugs Vlog. I used to be on the channel a long time ago, about like
that. If you guys are OGs, you would know. It's been like what, 10 years? I'm just playing. It's been 10 years for real.
I think it might be 10 years.
You think so? It's been 10 years?
Yeah.
Nah, it might have been. But 18, real quick, tell me what you think about it before we start driving. What do you think about it overall?
No, the car is very nice. You know, I like the black and red they have going on. The seat's very comfortable. I like this new feature they have when you put your turn signal. Like you can see the blind spot. Nice little screen on the front. And you got heated seat and cool seat. You can't beat that.
Yeah, and believe it or not, some other competitors in the segment, which this is a very tight race segment which is the Corolla that comes as a hybrid. And sadly, Kia, if you guys are watching this video, which definitely should be watching it, I think you guys should offer that hybrid powertrain. And he over here doing something illegal, but I'm not gonna even say it. But this is the company's 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. So Kia is showing that they're taking their GT line serious. There's no full-on GT, which I think that would be bonkers if Kia did offer just a performance variant, just GT only. This vehicle weighs around like 3,200 pounds with all the options that it has on it. The ride quality of this vehicle is very smooth. It goes over the bumps just fine. Here in Miami, we don't have the best roads, but this vehicle does a good job of, going over the imperfections. Great visibility. This A pillar here is a little thick, but it does have Kia driver's assistance, which includes blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, lane keeping assist, emergency braking, a rear cross traffic alert. Everything that you guys want in a modern day car, Kia gives it to you, especially at a great price point. I just wish they would have offered a hybrid version of the K4. It might come in the near future. Same thing with the K5. There's no hybrid version of that, but I heard they're going to be discontinuing the K5 due to sales, but that's neither here or there. But overall, the tech department of this vehicle, once again, it's Kia. They're going to literally give you everything at an affordable price. But let's go right here and do an acceleration run. Mind you, this makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. So there's a launcher behind me. Let me just do a quick run. It cut the power, and it was literally doing a front burnout with the front tires. No, the traction probably make it worse. It probably would literally roast the front tires. But this thing, it's not a K5 GT, which that offers plethora of horsepower and torque. If you guys don't want to spend the big bucks on the K5, I would recommend looking at this because this is way more affordable. The steering feel is very playful. You can feel what the front tires are doing, of course. But this vehicle is going to be for, sporty driving here and there. I love the nice red in this vehicle. Like I mentioned, the cool seats are really good. I love that Kia gives you cool seats. Some competitors don't even give you that, especially on a hot day like it is today. It's like 83 degrees. But I love the way this vehicle drives, and the performance is really solid for this to be an economy car or affordable car in a sense. It drives good. It handles well. And I like the way this vehicle drives. It doesn't use that clunky 8-speed dual clutch anymore. Kia has dropped that, and now they just offer a 8-speed automatic. The 8-speed wasn't as clunky when I drove it in the Forte, but it did have its moments where it kind of, was kind of clunking here and there. But they got rid of that. Now they offer an 8-speed auto. And it's a pretty quick, affordable car, honestly. But overall, I don't have no complaints from it. It rides really good. You also have plenty of space in the rear if you're looking to put your family back there. Plenty of space. Fuel economy is going to be rated at 26 in the city, 36 on the highway, and 29 combined. That's why I think a hybrid would have simplified that, making over 40 miles per gallon. If you guys want a hybrid, sadly you have to look at the other competitors, which is the Honda Civic, the Corolla hybrid, because Kia sadly just does not offer a hybrid variant as of this filming. So hopefully they see this video and they consider offering a hybrid, because I think that would actually boost more sales if Kia does offer a hybrid version of the K4. After spending time with the 2025 Kia K4 GT line turbo, this vehicle does offer very smooth acceleration from that turbocharged engine. Good space inside the interior. I love the two-tone with the black and red. Also, this black paint looks really good with the red interior. Overall, I hope you guys have enjoyed this full review on the 2025 Kia K4 GT line turbo, and I will see you all in the next review.